And welcome to the Good Ole Gamers podcast. My name is Josh Duncan. I'm here with Lyle McClendon and Brandon Gentry.
That's right.
And we're going to start off our very first episode with our origin story.
The story's not a prequel.
Yeah.
So, no prequels are allowed.
So, let's start out with, what was the first console you had, Lyle?
First console I ever had, of course, was a fucking NES. Nintendo, original Nintendo, man. First console was that NES TurboGrafx. Played those. That was like the second console I guess I had access to. There used to be we had a lady in town that had a little rental store. You may remember it, Brandon, like where Zero Gravity is now, on the very end where the tax place. This lady owned it. Well, she rented consoles by the night there. I remember my grandpa renting me a Turbo from there. And so I had the luxury of actually being exposed to that, you know, at an early age where a lot of people don't know what, like, TurboGrafx. I mean, it's catching on now, of course, but a lot of people still are just in the dark about that. A lot
of the retro gamers are super into the TurboGrafx because
Turbo is getting fucking huge. It's expensive.
It had a whole bunch of games for it, too.
Yeah. I want to say there was like 98 in the American Library, but some of them, you're talking about, some of them are like up in the...
Okay, they're shovelware, but there's still a lot of them.
No, they're not. None of them really shovelware. I'm just saying, like, there's like 98 of them, and some of them go for upwards of like $1,000 a copy.
Wow.
Like certain games.
Did you have a TurboGrafx?
I did not. I had an NES and went up to SNES and just kind of climbed the standard American console ladder.
That was me. I never had a TurboGrafx. I had access to rent one and play it.
See, I've never even played the TurboGrafx.
I own one now, of course.
I started out with an Atari 2600. My mom had it. So, like, weirdly enough, my mom loves fucking Qbert. Like, Qbert is one of the... She gets in that zen mode.
Fuck Qbert.
You know, like when you're playing a game you're really good at, you get into that zen mode, and she just would zone in on it.
That's how Galaga was for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can support Galaga. Like Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man. Yeah. It's kind of like that for me too.
That's my dream arcade machine. Is a Galaga and Miss Pac-Man.
Oh
machine.
Yeah, man.
When me and my wife got married, she made me promise her that she would have a Miss Pac-Man cabinet, and she wants a cocktail table like they have at Pasquale's.
Yes.
But she is very, very angry that we've been married for 4 or 5 years now, and she still doesn't have a Miss Pac-Man arcade cabinet.
You talking about some fucking money though, man? Like a brand new one of those run you about an actual Namco cocktail table is gonna run you about $2,400 for a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get a MAME and all, but
no,
MAME's just not the same as having a dedicated arcade.
She wants a dedicated cab. Cool. You know, she wants a straight up. Basically, she wants me to try to hustle the guy from Pasquale's to get that one.
I want a dedicated Ninja Turtles arcade, the 4-player beat 'em up original.
I like the X-Men beat 'em up better.
Oh, I do love X-Men as well. I do.
The old
Take
Avengers
my clothes
one
off.
was nice.
Yeah. That's the one where you had the level where the huge fucking Sentinel, wasn't it? It's like shoots and you gotta jump over like the lasers.
Yeah.
The Simpsons.
The Simpsons was a great one.
Simpsons.
The sad thing is,
the best Konami arcade game.
They put it out for Xbox Live Marketplace on the arcade, and it's like now that you have unlimited continues, it's too easy because you're like, it's like, oh, I died. Oh, I'll just start over.
You're not a broke ass because you just gave it all your fucking quarters. You know, you're like,
it's not like you're at the skating rink with like $2 a quarter, sweating your ass off because you got one life.
Me and Brandon actually back in the day went to the skating rink in Valmont, and we sat there and we finally beat that fucking game one night, dude. I don't remember. It probably cost us $10, but I remember like It's nachos or beating the fucking Simpsons. And I'm like, the Simpsons.
Yeah, the
like,
Simpsons is
Going down,
definitely.
Simpsons.
Yeah, like
Sons of bitches.
that was one of those things where, yeah, you go back and play it now when you have, as an adult, and you have money. Even if you go to the arcade now, and it's like, yeah, I could pump $15 into this thing and beat it. But as a child, you're like, oh man, I've only got, $1.50, and oh hey, I found a quarter in the car.
Yeah.
So maybe I can I can at least get.
Well,
to
there's level 2-6.
Yeah, yeah, I can make it to level 3 on this one now. Make sure you get Marge because she has the vacuum cleaner and has the distance, like she has the reach on everybody.
Maybe I can go give Joey a hand job for some more quarters.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Come here, buddy. Oops, I dropped my ink pen. I think though, getting back on topic of like what got us going, NES and Super Nintendo are definitely. I love the Turbo, and it was, but like I said, you only rent the thing for a night a week, or
Right.
a night at a time, and
was it
that video store ended up going out of business, and that was the last I'd ever seen of a Turbo.
I rented a
graphics.
Genesis there, and the place I was at the time had kind of shaky floors, and I figured out a cheat was stomping on the fucking floor, and it would bring up cheat menus to games, or crash them all together, but it would bring up a cheat menu to most of the games. I just stomp on the floor and there, fucking cheat menu. Infinite lives, yes.
You gotta love that fucking, that little glitch for hi, we're gonna fuck the gamer, but are we? Stomping on the ground too hard. You're like, oh, unlimited lives? What happens if I hit this son of a bitch with a goddamn hammer?
Oh, the screens need to be degaussed.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it just fucking
The CR2
displays red and green now.
What was your favorite game on the NES?
Well, man, that's hard. I guess I have a small list of favorite games.
No, you get one.
Fuck.
You get one.
Shit. Man, it's a toss up. I gotta love some Super Mario Brothers 3. It's cliche as shit. Gotta fucking love Super Mario 3 though, man.
It's one of the more superior games.
Classic,
Yeah.
dude. Everybody had
That's
Super
pretty
Mario
much what
3.
the new Super Mario Brothers is modeled after.
Yeah.
Brandon, what about you? What was you had one game
On the NES?
on the NES.
Godzilla.
Oh
my god, the fucking board game Godzilla where you move them over the...
and then you go across the level as Godzilla or Mothra.
Yes, that shit was so hard, but it was fucking great.
That's one of my greatest accomplishments in my life was beating that game.
Fuck yes, dude, I do remember it.
That game and Maximum Carnage for the SNES.
Oh,
those two games.
Maximum Carnage
Yeah.
used to chafe my nuts so hard.
I beat that game. And
You shouldn't have it in your pants.
Well,
It's a big square cartridge.
sometimes when you're fucking 12 years old and you're new to things, we're not going there. We don't need to go into that dark of a fucking area on the first episode. What was some of your favorite shit on 2600?
2600, man. Had to be Miss Pac-Man, Pitfall, and
Pitfall's great.
Combat. But here's the trick with that. You pretty much had to have two players to play Combat.
Oh, yeah.
And I had a younger sister who never wanted to play. So what I would get her to do is come in, put your tank, we play the tanks.
Yeah.
Put your tank where you think, oh, I can't get you. That's all you have to do. And then I would try every single angle to, when you could have the bounce ammo.
Yeah.
Try every single angle to hit that one tank. And then she'd come in, and once I killed it, I'd yell at her, hey, come here and do it again. She'd come in here, she'd put her tank in the spot, and then she'd walk away. Because she'd be like, I don't want to play this. So I played 2-player Combat by myself.
Kaboom.
Yeah, you really like Kaboom.
You really need to get on that shit one night.
You showed me that today, and I was like, yeah, okay, I can see where that's really fun.
Super simple, dropping bombs, moving a cursor to catch bombs. Insanely fucking addictive, though. Good stuff. There was the first dead air of the evening.
That's I'll be edited out.
I
don't have to call it out live.
I call whatever I fucking want out.
Did you have any good, did you ever play the 2600 as a child?
I did not. What system was Dick Dug originally for?
That was the 2600.
Okay, then I did have it. It's all vague to me because I remember I got a system like that at a yard sale or legit. and I had Dig Dug and a couple other games I didn't give a shit about, but Dig Dug was fucking awesome.
Dig Dug was really good. I
love me some Dig Dug.
Like I said, for some reason, I remember like around 1988 playing a lot of Atari. Because I remember I was about 4 or 5 years old, and my mom like showed me the Atari, and she's just like, showed me Qbert.
Yeah.
And I got okay at Qbert, but my mom would she wanted to just yank the fucking controller out of my hand. Here, let me show you how to do this.
Just own the shit.
And she'd get to, where it's like you have to hit the thing 4 times, like you have to hit the same pad 4 times to change the colors to lock it out. And it was nuts how good she was at it. And I think that's the only game she ever played on it. She might have put it, and we had a big, huge rack of Atari 2600 games. Mm-hmm. And I think, like, my mom only played, I think she got it at a yard sale, because the Atari came out in, 76, 77, around in there? I think it was 76. And
maybe, I can't remember right offhand. I think it was 76.
And it was one of those things where I don't think she ever really played any other game than Qbert. But we had all these games, and I would sit there for hours. Now I grew up in the country, like I'm sure most of us did.
Oh yeah,
so
I grew up in Texas Chainsaw Country.
You get 2 hours in front of the TV, and then everybody outside. Mommy needs time to drink, so she's gonna clean house and have 2 glasses of wine. So we had all to go outside, but just as soon as it started getting dark, it's like, oh, I could come in and play 2600 for an hour or two before she's, telling me time to go to bed.
Yeah, dude, one of my favorite memories of being a kid, and it sucks. Rest in peace, the video rental store. Rest, R.I.P. Mom and pop video stores, dude.
Yeah.
You always had that fucking option when you're a kid. You're like, well, we can go do something. Or we can go get you a pizza when your friends come over and y'all can just rent a game. Your parents pretty much been like, we're going to buy y'all food and rent you a game. Go to your bedroom. Leave us the hell alone. And, dude, I loved that.
Yeah,
it was so good. That was when before fucking YouTube and before Twitch and before all your video game shopping networks and eBay and all that shit, you actually had to pick the box up and use rather good detection skills to be like, is this good or is this a shit floater? I
remember,
and I have been deceived many a times.
Yes. I think what started my obsession with creation games was renting Excitebike for the first time.
Track editor.
Track editor. I would spend hours. That was probably my favorite game. If I had to have one game on the NES, it would be Excitebike, because you could make a track, drive it all day long, and then I'm going to make another one.
Mm-hmm.
And then continue to go through and make more tracks.
Sim City for fucking SNES.
Yes.
I played the shit out of that, and Sim Earth and Sim Ant more than that.
I never got super huge into Sim Earth. I had it on PC initially. But, no, Sim Ant, though, dude, Sim Ant was badass. Sim City, though, man, it's just, that's one of them games that it strikes such a, nerve with childhood and not realizing the world's a big burnt turd and all that shit, and, I could walk around and listen to the music of Sim City in my headphones.
Oh, God, it's so
and
great.
Just, it's like, I have the whole soundtrack for Link to the Past on my fucking phone, and I'll just sometimes at work just I want to hear the Sahara Raza music or whatever shit.
The best soundtrack I remember is Chrono Trigger. The soundtrack to that one is fucking excellent.
Chrono Trigger. What about the ending song in Earthbound?
Yeah, I was gonna say Earthbound.
After you beat Gygas, and then you hear the I miss you in the background.
Yeah, we laughed so hard at that. But I was so fucking pumped. I finally beat that game.
I come over to used to go stay at Brandon's house quite a bit and vice versa. I'd never forget. I went over to Brandon's house and he had finally beat it. And he was just laughing so hard about it. He's like, you gotta listen to the music at the end of this. So Brandon beats this big abortion looking Gygas again. He fucking beats it. And it starts playing that song and then you just hear this faint voice go, I miss you. I guess that's what it says.
I think it was Japanese.
Yeah,
that's what
dude,
it sounded like.
me and Brandon laughed so hard we were about to throw up.
Do you actually know the story of Earthbound?
I do.
The Mother series.
Yeah.
It's a dark series.
Oh yeah, man. That's like, I think that's one reason Nintendo never really was big on porting Mother or Mother 3 to Earth or to Earth. Fuck,
close enough.
Without America, there is no Earth. But like porting it to America.
I know Mother 3 was a really weird game.
It was, but it wrapped up Earthbound nicely.
Yeah,
you can actually find. There's a guy. I don't know him, but I know of his website. He does like reproductions.
Yeah.
For games, and he actually has Mother 3 translated copies you can buy for GBA Advance for like $40.
There's a fan-made Mother 4 dropping pretty soon.
Yeah.
It looks pretty
really
sweet. Yeah,
that's cool.
It looks like just like Earthbound almost.
My little cousin Alex, you remember him?
Think so.
Lisa's child, but anyways,
I remember him.
Well, he's grown into my
this
shoes.
big when I last saw him.
He's like a foot taller than I am now.
Wow.
But he's grown into my shoes, and he is a huge Earthbound. He's a big time RPG player, but like it blows my. I suck shit at Earthbound. I'm not gonna lie. I love that game, but them fucking dancing hippies or whatever, dude, they always whoop my ass.
I make it a point to play Earthbound at least once a year, sometimes more. And I'm to the point where I'm like, I need to go rid of this trash can. There's a hamburger inside of it. That'll help me out a lot later.
Do you remember the Nintendo Power ad for Earthbound? It had the scratch and sniff page on it.
Yes. Yeah.
That was... I never played...
The strategy guy did too.
Yeah, I never played Earthbound, but I remember getting my Nintendo Power and having the... Like, it's this weird scratch and sniff page. And, like, there was garbage on it, and there was, like, something else that was smelly, and then something else that smelled really good, and you're just like, well, this is really weird. But at that point, you don't think, like, this is before the internet. So it's like, you don't realize how weird, like, Japan was. You
didn't know that Japan had fetishes for women getting raped by tentacles and things like that. I mean, not all Japanese people are into that. Disclaimer. But
one of my favorite things about Mother 1 was just the weird fucking enemies. Like, you'd be walking around and all of a sudden you're fighting a truck.
Yeah.
I'm fighting a truck.
Those shit, like, how bizarre, like, a dancing hippie appeared. What's in fucking things that had the black head, like, you know what I'm talking about? They wear, like, the black masks. Is it a fucking ninja?
The black mask. I'm trying to think. The hood?
They follow you when you gotta go to the arcade. They all hang around that fucking arcade.
Yeah, the shark gang.
Yes. That was it.
Yeah.
The bane of my fucking existence. Like, dude, drove me crazy.
What is infinitely harder than them and the boss there is the policeman to get out of the first city. Holy shit. You gotta go through 5 of them fuckers, and if you lose, you start all the way over again.
I actually told one of my other friends a story about me and Brandon the other night, and still this day, sometimes I think about that, and I'm just like, fuck you, man. Because on Final Fantasy VII, back in the day when we were all going through it, there's a boss you get to that's a ghost boss. And it's that big float thing that has the little fire minions that'll pop up. Dude, I tried for like 4 weeks to beat this fucking thing. I'm like, there's nothing I do is going to kill this. Brandon comes over one weekend and I'm like, dude, I'm fucking stuck here. I don't know what to do. And Brandon's like, oh, check this out. Gets it, throws a phoenix down on it. Never would have thought about that. Kills it one hit. I'm just like, fuck you.
It's funny though.
I was just like, man, that's amazing. Like, I never would have thought about, reanimating a ghost enemy with a phoenix down.
And before I started getting Nintendo Power, that's I had a friend in like a middle school who would be like, he got Nintendo Power, so he would know all the secrets first.
Man, that is one thing I miss so much, is the passing around of, you find that holy grail of cheat codes on a piece of Xerox paper that somebody's mama got you, like,
that's why I loved Tips and Tricks
Oh,
magazine.
Tips and Tricks was fucking great, man. You had that whole encyclopedia at the back of every magazine that come out with.
Then, like, your parents cleaning up and throws one away. You're like, no! You didn't realize what you've done.
You just fucking ruined my life! I'm gonna be fucking swinging by the end of the day.
Would you do like I would? And my mom was too cheap to actually buy the tips and tricks, so I'd come into the grocery store.
Yes.
With the pen and paper.
I have done that.
If you had to go to the grocery store, you were like, Mom, give me something to write, like a pen and some paper. And she'd be like, I don't have a pen. I'd go up to the cashiers and be like, hey, do you have a pen? They'd be like, oh yeah, sure. And I'd just grab it and walk away.
Dude,
I'm sure and I'd keep the pen too. So it's like. I'm like, oh, well, thank you. And turn around and walk away. I'm sure, little fucking cunt, fucking take my pen.
How dare you?
I remember Tony Hawk, like when the first Tony Hawk came out.
That was
going through, and tips and tricks automatically had every single one of the fucking codes in there.
Dude, I used to make people so raw-assed at that game because they'd be sitting there trying to pull off these combos. All you gotta fucking do is go to the swimming pool on the 3rd level and just grind and manual trick while you're grinding. Dude, you can land a 200,000 point combo and you're just like, suck on that.
Well, let's not jump ahead of ourselves. We got to the Nintendo, so the Super Nintendo.
We're getting into the PlayStation era.
No, we're going to do Super Nintendo.
That's what I was saying. That's what we were drifting off to. SNES, my fucking favorite. I think that's everybody's favorite. Because, dude, I got the pictures of me getting mine for Christmas. I got that and Mario Paint for Christmas. And I still got the pictures of me, like, holding, you know how John Cusack looks in that shitty movie where he's holding the fucking boombox up?
Yeah.
Well, that's how I looked holding a Super Nintendo up. I'm like, I just cured AIDS.
Are you wearing a trench coat?
I should have been listening to Marilyn Manson and going to school in Colorado.
When did you get your...
That's terrible.
Did you get your... The SNES came out in 93, I think.
SNES came out in 90.
Was it 92?
91, I think.
Was it 91? I thought that was the Nintendo that came out in 91.
No, Nintendo came out in 85.
That's right. So, okay.
90 or 91's when back to while we were thinking about it. Atari 2600 came out in 77, so you were right on that. Super Nintendo, I'm curious to know. I think it was 91. I'm not positive.
Because I
think it came out in 90 in Japan. Super Famicom came out in Japan, and I think in 90, and I think it came here in 91.
Because I didn't get my Super Nintendo when it launched.
It was released as Famicom in Japan on November 21st, and it was released in August of 91 in America. 92 in Europe and Australia.
And I think I probably got mine.
Europe. Yeah. Fuck off.
I probably got
Should've
mine.
fought harder in World Wars.
I probably got mine a couple years after it had came out, but I remember getting it because my birthday is so close, like not super close, but it's like a month and a change after Christmas. So I remember my grandparents bought it for me. Like they were coming to get me for my birthday to go down to South Alabama to hang out with them, and as they came to pick me up, they had this Super Nintendo, and I was like, awesome, I've got this Super Nintendo. And they're like, oh yeah, just give it to your mom. I'm like, no, I'm bringing it with me. And they're like, oh no, we brought it so you could have it at home. So the entire time, it was probably a good 2 weeks I was down there.
You couldn't touch it.
I couldn't. It was not within 150,000 miles of me. It seemed like.
Let me ask you something. Do they believe that plugging it into your TV would destroy it?
No.
That was a common myth I always heard from adults. You don't play that on my TV, it'll ruin it.
You leave that thing turned on more than 10 minutes, it'll burn that screen up. Yeah.
Because those inputs are way different from a VCR.
Right.
I mean.
Yeah, they're totally different.
Yeah, never mind the fact that you're watching the 10 Commandments on fucking repeat on like a VCR. Charlton Heston says the same fucking thing every time.
And it's all...
Go. Anyways,
so
about that shit.
the Super Nintendo, we've already said. Oh, it was it was one
have
of the
dreams about that fucking thing.
It was
still,
a very
man.
pretty console. Like
Final Fantasy 2 and 3, or actually, what is it?
It was X4
and 6.
Yeah, 4 and 6.
5 never came.
I always get confused about that. Why that shit's numbered.
Yeah, thanks Japan.
Yeah. We never had NES in Japan had the actual
Final
2
Fantasy
and 3.
Yeah.
And then Final Fantasy 2 ActRaiser. Holy
Actraiser
shit,
was a good game.
ActRaiser is one of my favorite games still to this day.
Separate Ghouls and Ghosts.
Oh
Yeah.
my
I've never
god,
did that to
dude.
this
Me
day.
neither.
You ever watch those YouTube videos of the guys going through, like they doing
Like
this,
a let's play.
or like a speed run?
Yeah, of
Like you have, you get hit twice and you die,
Yeah.
and then you get to the end and they're like, "Oh,
Ghosts
do it
and
again."
Goblins on fucking NES.
Yeah,
Talking about, I got it up there, like, talking about, like, high blood pressure and shit. Like,
all right, fat boy. We don't know anything about high blood pressure.
you will, motherfucker, if you play that game. I assure you. I'm not that fat, by the way. I am.
I'm the fattest one here. That's my title. I'll fight you for it.
Please don't.
Is it going to be a thumb war?
With our bellies.
Yeah. It's just going to make this weird
I'll
noise.
get the butter.
Start getting the sumo diapers out.
We just slap our belly buttons together and people are like, Jesus isn't real.
Santa Claus is a Nazi and Jesus is dead.
Game over, man.
Back to the Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo. There's so many good games, dude. Like, there's just like an endless amount. Super
Yeah.
Mario RPG, Super
Yes.
Mario World, dude.
Super Mario
Yeah.
RPG. That's another one I play every
Yeah.
year.
Oh man, love it. I finally got a copy of it not too long ago.
Getting the lost levels, like the Super
Yeah.
Mario lost
yeah,
levels.
I have it as
They
well.
were rage-inducing but fun.
Yes.
Yeah, I have the original Super Mario 2 on my 3DS, and there's many times I've just wanted to throw that fucking thing across like the parking
You
lot.
know,
been
that's one of
somewhere
those
playing
that's pissing me off, like Maximum Carnage. I beat that game a lot when I was a kid. I come back and play it now, I'm like, what the fuck? How
Well-
did I do this? I was 9 years old.
That's the thing. You were 9 years old and didn't have fucking bills.
Yeah.
A bit off subject. Well, it ain't off subject, but it's like GoldenEye. You're a badass at GoldenEye when you're like fucking 13, 14. You play some Call of Duty shit now and then try to play GoldenEye. $100 says you puff on dick at it. I bet you fucking might. Like, I'm terrible. I was just like, I don't even remember how to hold an N64
Turok was
controller.
another good one.
Yeah, Turok was great.
Yeah.
Super Mario World, though. I want to throw
Yeah.
that in there.
We watched a great
Classic.
video the other day of the guy overloading the ROM so he could beat it in 4 minutes,
Yeah.
56 seconds.
This guy, it took him like, him and this other dude, like, what did he say, like 6 years it took him
Yeah.
to figure out? They found out a way in the first world, like, you know, when you start on Super Mario World, you can go to the left and go up the hill and hit the
To Yoshi's
exclamation
house, yeah.
block, or you can go right and go to the first level. This dude figures out how to run past these Koopas and hit shit in a certain way.
It overloads the
It
ROM
overloads
of the
the
game.
ROM, and what it does is you go back and you have to make this turtle hit Yoshi, and a fireball hit the turtle and Yoshi at the same time, and you have to spin off of it, and it turns the turtle into a coin. And when Yoshi, you hit the tongue button with Yoshi, and he
Yeah.
swallows the coin. And as soon as he swallows the coin,
It's instant
it
credits.
glitches and it instantly sends you. It overclocks the game into sending you further along, and it sends you to the end credits.
It's a no boss run in credit, like from start, from
Yeah,
fresh
four,
start.
You can beat it in
Huh.
4 minutes. There's an Ocarina of Time one that we watched as well that I'm sure people are familiar with. There's this kid named Cosmo that can beat Ocarina of Time in like 12 minutes.
Yeah, I think so.
And it's the same. He figured out how to glitch the game, and it puts you directly into the final battle with Ganon.
Huh.
And then you can glitch past that.
It's
But-
nuts. Yeah.
Super Nintendo. I'm sorry. We're Super
We're talking
Nintendo,
about our
we're in
favorite
that
games
era.
of the Super Nintendo.
Super Game Boy was fucking. Oh, that's one we got to throw down because I forgot completely about it, and I'm ashamed. That's one thing I did have. Game Boy.
Yeah. Game Boy was
Fucking Game Boy, dude.
nice. Pokemon.
Pokemon. I don't need Pokemans and Super Marios. Yeah.
I had a game, like the first portable system I
You had
got
a
was
Game
a Game
Gear?
Yeah, Game Gear.
Is that what you heard?
Yeah,
Game Gear?
Game Gear, yes.
Yeah.
That thing was like
I had a
fucking.
Game Gear, too.
That's the one that had no.
Later.
I'm thinking of maybe it's.
Did you have a Nomad
Yeah,
that plays Sega Genesis games?
yes, and it was like it took like a
Those
fucking
are
1,000
sweet.
batteries.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had one of
Nomads
those.
were cool. I had a Nomad and actually traded mine for fucking Game Gear. Because I was like, well, I have a Genesis, but I don't have a Game Gear. You know, like, tried using reasoning.
I had my old brick Game Boy with fucking data. I had the big magnifying glass and speakers and the Game Genie. They weighed like 6 pounds.
Dude, I still have the Game Boy and Super Mario Land you sold me when we were kids.
Oh, nice.
I still have it's in that closet somewhere right there.
I've still got my brick.
That Mario is brutal.
It's still,
yeah, dude.
It had some. I left the batteries in it, and it got some acid, like the acid
corrosion on the.
But I wiped all that out with alcohol, and it just fucking fired right up.
Dude, Kirby's Dream Land,
Yes.
top fucking 5 Game Boy games in my opinion. In a nutshell, Kirby's Dream Land, Harvest, the original Harvest Moon, fucking awesome.
Zelda's got to be on there.
Zelda, Link's Awakening, one of my favorites of all time. Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins. Fucking great. Wario Land was fucking great. One of my hidden gems that I still love, Tiny Toons, Babs Breaks Out. Fucking amazing Game Boy game.
Yeah.
Love that
pretty
shit,
intense.
dude. Yeah, totally.
The Tiny Toons game on, was that the NES? Or maybe it was a Super NES.
They had one on the NES and the Super. The NES was Tiny Toons Adventures, and there was Tiny Toons Adventures 2. And Super NES was Buster Bust Loose.
Yeah, okay. I remember
it was fucking great.
I remember
have
playing
it as
Buster
well.
Bust Loose. I remember
great.
playing that a lot.
It's a Konami game.
Now that we're thinking about these old ones, the Addams Family game, the Uncle Fester.
Yeah,
one.
that was a good game.
Oh, Fester's Quest?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
One
well,
with
I've
the
seen a
creepy
bunch of
Fester
them.
on the front of it.
Yeah, I know a bunch of them. A bunch of the game reviewers on fucking YouTube all talk shit about that game. I'm like, suck it, man. I wasted some hours playing that game. And it was fun to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how many games do you go back now and they're like, okay, I mean, this holds up, but...
There's quite a few, but... Well, I mean, I ain't doing no name dropping, but some of them fucking YouTubers that are really angry and nerdy... Like bitching about that kind of game, And as a podcast, I refuse for us to talk and go into detail about the company LJN one time. We're not going to do it.
I don't even know who that is.
Thank God. Everybody jumps on that bandwagon of LJN hating, and I'm not about to debate with some motherfucker why I like the Jaws on NES.
SNES, as far as not well-known games goes, Outlander was great. Any of y'all play that? It was not Mad Max. That's what it was. Generic Mad Max.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think I played it.
It was brutal as shit. Half the game, it was your view, and like first-person view. You're driving the car, and you'd see motorcycles coming out of a mirror trying to get you. You'd like shoot them with a shotgun or ram into them or some shit. And then you'd run out of gas, and you had to get on the side of the road and go get gas and fight all these people. It was a brutal but fucking fun game.
I haven't.
You gotta check out the ROM. It's awesome.
I'll do that. I'm pretty sure I have the ROM. I've never played. That's cool. Outlander. I'm gonna write that shit down.
You have the cartridge somewhere you just haven't seen, so you can legally dump the ROM and play it yourself.
No, fuck that.
No.
Fuck you, Nintendo. We got the ROMs legally, you assholes.
I got a whole fucking PC sitting right here that has every North American ROM released on it.
We giving you cocksuckers enough money.
My email is lawmcclendon@yahoo.com. Suck a dick. I probably just incriminated the shit out of myself. But, I was looking over there. Super Adventure Island.
I never played that one.
Never played that. It's great. It's platform. Donkey Kong Country.
Yes.
Everybody here had their Donkey Kong Country fix.
My wife is a huge Donkey Kong fan.
The new Donkey Kong Country games for like Wii and Wii U, and I got Donkey Kong Country Returns for 3DS. They're fucking good too, man.
Yeah, I never got a chance to play them yet.
They're like it plays just like Donkey Kong Country, but it's updated 3D mechanics.
I guess they
and
went
shit.
the same way as
I think
New
that-
Super Mario Brothers.
Tropical Freeze is
fucking
supposed
great.
to be really good.
Yeah, dude, they're fun, big time.
Yeah, my wife is super in like that. The fucking Donkey Kong 1, Donkey Kong 2, Donkey Kong
I love
3.
the original Donkey Kong, man.
Yeah.
Like just hopping barrels and fucking.
And then they
pulling planks out of girders and jumping pies.
And,
arcade version. The Nintendo version can
Yeah.
suck a dick because it's incomplete. But
and then you have the dreaded Donkey Kong 64, and that was a shit show.
I know people that really liked Donkey Kong 64, but
I just couldn't get into
it was a shit show, man. Like, it was terrible. How many fucking different... There was like 10, maybe 8 different kind of collectibles you can get.
I don't remember, dude. I honestly...
There was multiple amounts of... Like, first there's the Kong letters. Then there's the banana bunches. Then there's this, like, maybe silver Kong letters. And then there's the DK barrels. There was a ton of different collectibles.
There's too much fucking collectibles. Nintendo is still guilty of doing that shit. That Donkey Kong Country over there, it's not enough just to get the Kong, like, the letters.
Then you gotta get the coins.
Kong. Yes, there's coins, balloons, letters, and something else. And I'm just like, God damn, you know, like, stop, you fuck. Like,
yeah, the pictures of the animals, that was on one of them, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But most of those you actually had to get in order to get the power.
That's all
That's
I
right.
need is another game where I gotta spend 100+ hours collecting shit. Like, I'm not stuck on enough crap right
You didn't
now.
have that much to do anyway.
I know. Well, we've talked about NES and SNES. Let's go on to what causes great fucking debate.
And
amongst
that's
people. Sega.
I'm out.
Let's talk about... See, everybody's out on Sega.
No. I'm only out because I never had one. I had a friend who had one. We played.
I had a Genesis. That was it. I didn't have none of the...
We played Mortal Kombat on it, and the code is still burned into my brain. It'll never go away.
ABB.
ABAC ABB.
Okay, yeah.
So
I was close.
It'll never go away, and that was the blood code for Mortal Kombat for the first Mortal Kombat. And but other than that, I think that's the other than Sonic. I played Sonic because he had it. Played Sonic. I think he had Sonic and Knuckles.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really it.
Genesis was all I had. I never had a Sega CD. I had a 32X, but 32X it came out when I was like 13, and I bought my own. And I had fucking Doom and Metalhead.
The only Sega
And both of
console
them-
I've ever owned was the Dreamcast, and I love the Dreamcast.
Oh my god, we do need to talk about Dream. Oh, the Dreamcast was a fucking wonderful, sort of berserk, dude.
Yes.
Sort of fucking berserk.
Fuck. That says it all right there.
Oh
Yeah.
shit, yeah. Brandon got the Berserk brand.
Yep.
So yeah, dude. Sort of Berserk, Choo Choo Rocket. I
Choo Choo
remember
Rocket,
that
yeah.
was one of the first online games
Yeah.
I ever played over at your house.
I got my
actually.
ass destroyed. on it. I was like, yeah, I'm going to get on here. I beat the game and all this shit. I'm going to get on here and kick some ass. And nope. People
Sonic
doing shit I
Adventure,
never even
dude.
saw.
Sonic Adventure was a great game.
Yes.
Um,
And most of the games on the Dreamcast are like good arcade games. Like I would like to have them in the arcade.
There was a
yeah,
lot of
man,
Crazy
like, super
Taxi,
smooth.
Ready to Rumble boxing.
Power Stone was a good. one.
Power Stone was
Yeah.
awesome.
Like a lot of really good fighting games.
Oh yeah, dude! Virtual Fighter 3,
Dead or Alive.
Dead or Alive,
yeah.
was
Soul
great
Calibur.
on Dream.
Soul
Soul
Calibur.
Calibur, dude.
I got the original Soul Calibur. I got to where I could beat the whole arcade in like 45 seconds with Mitsurugi. It was ridiculous.
That's badass,
Yeah.
dude. Like, I remember I'd always try to get the ring out. I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna push your ass out of this ring. Like,
Yeah, that's what I did. Is you get the ring out, time stops, and I do the whole thing 45 seconds. It took long with all the loading and shit, but at actual game time, it was roughly 45, 55 seconds.
So, the Genesis. Like I said, I never had one.
I've rented one a few times. That's all the experience I've
I
ever
know.
had with it.
Only thing I know about the Genesis is it does what Nintendo don't.
Clever.
That's the only thing I know about it. And I mean, I was
I was more of a Nintendo kid. I had a Genesis later on. My aunt bought me a Genesis, and I kept the same 4 games for like fucking 10 years. Aladdin, RoboCop vs. Terminator, Sonic 2, and
Aladdin
Street Fighter
was
2.
nice.
Aladdin was
Yes.
a good game, and it was
Aladdin was
superior
great.
on the Genesis than it was on the.
Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition, dude. Kicks the shit out of Street Fighter World War on Super Nintendo. I hate to say it, but
Yeah, and it really does.
you get fucking Bison and Balrog and I think Sagat and
Vega.
Yeah, you got them 4. Great. But yeah, so we'll skip on past Sega. Sorry, Sega, we still love you. I
They
did find
don't do anything anymore, really.
I found a great Sega find
Yeah,
today
you
that
got
on
an
the thunder.
awesome Sega find.
I found a Sega Genesis, a Sega 32X, a working Sega CD, 20 Sega CD games, all box and complete, Lethal Enforcers box complete, gun and all, and 8 box complete Genesis games and 5 Lucy's. $50.
Yeah.
What up? What
that's,
up?
That's a really good fucking deal.
But we'll skip Sega.
We're not skipping it.
We're
we're Nintendo kids.
Yeah, we were, but we still got mad love for you, Sega.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I still play a Sega game this day, Phantasy Star Online 2.
Yeah, dude.
I was a big fan of Phantasy Star Online when it was on Dreamcast, and after that, Phantasy Star Universe on the PC. And
yeah, the PSO. I know they got most of that translated to English, didn't they?
Phantasy Star Online was completely English.
Well, I'm talking about like the one that's on PC now that they're running on.
The
MMO.
Yeah. Right now there's the PSO Blueberries, which they've got completely done. That's been around for a while. Then there's people working on the Phantasy Star Universe, and
I've read some about it.
That's been basically a glorified chat room for the past few years, but that's not to knock them. That's a lot of work trying to revive a dead MMO.
Yeah, man, you're talking about like a major overhaul.
You're essentially sending out packets of information and trying to figure out what the hell it wants back. It's extremely hard to do, so I'm not going to knock them for not having much progress on that yet.
Yeah.
And the Phantasy Star Online 2 is they have not released it in America, so
yeah, it's all Japanese and
there's been fan translations,
subs,
but it's not complete. There's a lot of shit that's not translated, but the game's simple enough that I don't
that
really
you can
have
From what I understand, you can kind of fake your way through it, and it's easier just to like go Google Translate all these kanji characters.
Yeah, the hardest part of that was making the fucking account for Sega.
Yeah.
I had to do a Japanese CAPTCHA. Holy shit.
Yeah. And then did you have to go through and get the Japanese credit card and all that?
No, they released a version of it for Android, and the fans have made a English patch and shit for that to work. And when you're on the Android version, you can use your Google Play account to pay for anything you want in the game.
Oh, really nice.
So
it's got in-app purchases.
They got their own currency for their cash shops in the game, so I can go on the phone version and get however much currency I want, and then go back on the PC and actually play the real game and spend that currency when I want.
So I can't bitch. I know a bunch of people that gripe about like the free games you can download now and you have to pay, and I can't say shit because I played GTA 5 online and I've dropped about $30 buying in-game currency.
I've played a lot of games like that. PSO2 is it's very light. Like I went ahead and dropped $10 on it when I first got it because I started playing it because I loved it. I was like, well, I'm going to give him some money. Yeah. And I was looking through the cash shop. I was like, I really don't want any of this. So I think I kept $6 of that on my account for months. And there's not any like pay to win shit in there. It's mostly cosmetic stuff. I'm like, I'm okay, whatever.
Oh yeah.
You can use that money to buy Rosetta Stone so you can figure out Japanese.
Yeah. Rosetta Stone's only like fucking $14.99. That's $1,499, not $14.99. But
my company gives it to me for free.
Well, your company is the fucking devil. We're not going to bring them up on here because I'm pretty sure. Shh, you want to get sued?
Piracy gives it to me for free too.
Yeah. So before we go on to this one, the next console, maybe we can elaborate, or you can elaborate a little on it. Brandon is a PC gamer.
It's PC Master Race.
Yep, PC Gamer Master Race.
PC.
Zig high, motherfucker.
See, Brandon is more superior than you or I.
Yes, he is.
Because
he likes to do things with overclocking.
His game system can play porno as well.
Yeah, that's the best game.
Yeah, so
controller included.
I think
it's a controller. You gotta clean it every week. It gets gummed up and sticky like an Atari 2600 joystick, but not from dirt.
Unless they're really naughty.
What were some of your favorite old school PC games? You used to play. You know me. I was always on the coat. I've always been a console gamer. Brandon's always been more PC oriented, and I've always seen him playing like badass games that I know nothing about to this day, like System Shock, stuff like that.
Yeah, I started off. The first PC game I played was the old text-based Hobbit game.
Yeah.
I never played a whole lot of it because I
played Quark or what was that? Wait, God damn it, what's the name? Zork.
I never did.
I know. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Radiant Pool of Radiance was another one. But the more modern games I started playing, Diablo was classic. I got some written down here. Nox wasn't really a famous one, but Nox was awesome. It played a lot like Diablo, but it was really fast paced, and it was online with other people where you have matches like capture the flag and shit, and it was extremely fun. Baldur's Gate with like 1 million fucking CDs.
Yeah, I remember the Baldur's Gate series.
Those are classic. The shooters, Unreal Tournament, and Quake. Those things today.
That's probably Unreal Tournament, Quake, and Doom are probably the only things I really actually played on PC.
If you got really good at Unreal Tournament or Quake, and you come play some of these other games like Call of Duty and shit, you will kick the shit out of
dude,
people.
I used to play the shit out of Unreal Tournament. Like, I got so good at one point at doing like the jump shot, like jumping and shooting downward.
Yeah,
that was some jam.
Tribes was another one.
Tribes is really
I know
good,
so many people that play Halo that do not know anything about Tribes. And I'm just like, that blows my mind because like they're so, you can tell Halo was loosely based on fucking Tribes.
Yeah,
you know?
Halo was decent, but if it was released on PC instead of console, no one really gave much of a shit about it.
They
was
did
the
release
fucking
it on PC.
Yeah, well, it was originally.
It was originally the Xbox release, so that got it notoriety.
Really solid shooter on a console like that, so that's what got it.
PC was like oversaturated with fucking first person shooters at that point.
Right.
Kind of the way consoles are now.
Yeah.
I love the current gen. I'm a fucking Xbox One supporter. I'm not a fucking PS4 basher. I'm gonna own it as well. But I'm gonna own the shit when I don't have to pick from 50 fucking first person shooters because burn out on them.
Half-Life was amazing. That was one of my first games.
Half-Life.
Yeah.
Did anybody hear? I'm just going to throw out there about what Valve did a few weeks ago.
Oh yeah, where they did the
March 3rd.
The March 3rd at 3:33. Yeah.
Everybody's like, rubbing their fucking nipples, thinking Halo or Half-Life 3 is going to be announced.
Yeah. Speaking of which, how is that Half-Life 3 coming along?
Pretty good,
Yeah, Brandon, where's that at then? When's the last time you personally fucking talked to Valve? Because we need some answers here tonight.
I'll make them give me some answers. I got some people on the inside.
So Duke Nukem Forever. That's starting to turn into Half-Life 3 starting to turn into Duke Nukem Forever.
Except hopefully when it does get released,
it doesn't
be an
suck
absolute
shit.
turd.
Yeah.
I played Duke Nukem Forever.
I played like halfway through. And
it was terrible. But you could pick up a turd and write on the wall.
What was the...
And there are not many games that could say, I could pick this turd up and write on a wall.
What was the fucking Duke Nukem that come out on PlayStation? Was it Time to Kill? It was like the third person, like, it kind of like played like Resident Evil, remember?
Yeah, it was. I believe it was Time to Kill.
It was okay from what I gather. Like, it was alright. Nothing will ever beat Duke Nukem 3D. Yeah, the first time I remember being like 9 years old and playing my buddy's computer, hitting the space bar, it's like, shake it, baby. And I'm just like,
where is it?
So let's let PC Master Race over here finish his games.
Arcanum was another great one. It was released kind of later. It was one of the last old school RPGs, kind of like Baldur's Gate. But it was great. It was like in the story of Arcanum, there's basically magic and technology, and the two were conflicting with each other. Like if you made a character really magical, you couldn't ride the trains in the game because you'd blow it the fuck up. Or if you were really technological, magic and shit wouldn't do anything to you. It's because magic worked off of bending the laws of physics, while technology worked off applying them.
Yeah,
and it was really good. And then as far as like MMOs, Ultima Online was my favorite. That's still my favorite.
You do a lot of creating for Ultima Online, don't you?
I don't anymore because I just got to where I'm burned out on it. That's saying a lot since I played it for like 15 years. That's a lot of gameplay out of one game. But yeah, I still want to play it, but I'll get on there and I just feel, I've done everything so many times.
Right.
Yeah. So much time you can spend looking at the same game.
Matrix Tell that to Warcraft players.
I bet I've logged more time on Ultima than they have. Mm-hmm. But Matrix Online was another good one. It's dead. Sony killed it when they bought it.
I remember.
Go figure.
The Giant Bombcast were like they were there when they killed the servers.
Yeah.
Like they were like, okay, let's watch the end of the Matrix. Let's see what happens. And they had already been burned once because they were going to watch the end of Halo 2 when they were going to shut all the servers down. And they started streaming it. And then it didn't go down. And it didn't go down for nearly 3 days. So after the 7th hour of them streaming, like, I don't know why the hell hasn't this been shut off? They had to stop. And yeah, so like the Giant Bombcast, which is a podcast I listen to, they were there for the end of the Matrix. And
yeah, I was too.
That was what happened at the end of the Matrix? I can't remember exactly.
There was a lot of agents that came around and beat the fuck out of people and stuff. It's just like this kind of big celebration.
Yeah, shit. And did the agents just take over everything?
Pretty much. Yeah,
that's what I thought. I remember hearing.
But yeah, that game, it was really ambitious for its time. They started when you got a subscription to the first 3 months. They made their own magazine. They would send you magazines in the mail about what's going on, and the story in the Matrix was an official continuation of the movies.
Yeah, I do remember reading that where the game actually does tie into.
Yeah, I got to talk to the Oracle, which is fucking awesome. I was there when Morpheus got killed, all that shit, and then Sony buys it, puts it on life support for years, and then unplugs it.
Yeah,
I'll never forgive Sony for that.
Sony, you motherfuckers!
I still play some of their games online, but I'll never forgive that.
All right, PC Master Race, what you got next?
As far as strategy games, StarCraft. I think everybody.
StarCraft is really good.
I still haven't played the second one a whole lot because Blizzard's kind of went downhill. If you've seen Diablo 3, holy shit!
I gave Diablo 3 a chance on console, and I was like, well, maybe the PC version's better. And then I had somebody be like, nope, the PC version's the exact same shit.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine who loves Diablo. Like, Diablo and Final Fantasy are his two main loves in life. And Diablo came out, and he was just like, I'm taking a week off work. He took a vacation week so he could play Diablo 3.
I bet he was disappointed.
No.
He loved it?
Loved it. Played it on PC to completion, whatever I don't think it was their highest mode, but hell mode or whatever.
Yeah.
Beat all of that, and then when the console version came out, was just fucking totally doing it. And just getting committed to it. Just fucking, I'm doing everything.
From what I've seen, they've made it a whole lot better with the recent expansion, the Reaper of Souls.
Right.
But I got so burned on my initial $60 investment, I'm not going to pay another $40 or so to get the game that I should have fucking got to begin with. So, Blizzard can suck it.
Yeah. They hit a wall, I think, with the third one, because I've logged many fucking hours. I did have a PC at the point when Diablo and Diablo 2
Diablo
come
2,
out.
I spent way too many hours.
Yeah, dude, I logged some fucking hours playing Diablo 2. And I did the first Diablo, and I played up to the point where people had the the cheat patch programs where you could bring up you could be playing and have the list pulled up, and you could be like, okay, kill this person one shot and boot them from the server, and just click it, just they're gone.
Yeah, I had one where I click a button, everyone else is dead. But, yep, sucks to be y'all.
Yeah.
Thanks, PC.
Yeah.
Nothing like cheating the system.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember one of the first PC cheats I ever found was where you go in on pinball and you could edit the script and make your score maxed out.
Yeah.
Somebody's like, how'd you get 99,999,000 blah blah blah? Well, it's because I'm fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And you're really like, nope, it's because I cheated. I'm a piece of shit.
Another strategy game is Alpha Centauri. Not many people know.
I've heard of that
play
game.
some
Yes.
fucking Alpha Centauri. I did. That was a Sid Meier game as well, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. I played the living fuck out of that game.
I did play. I didn't get just in depth with it, but I did dabble with it some.
My wife's a big Sims fan.
That's my wife.
And
I like The Sims as well, man.
Of course, now all she would do is build like me. The only thing I ever did on Sims, as far as PC goes, it was The Sims and Roller Coaster Tycoon. Because The Sims, I would build the houses, because she would get into the thing where every house looks the same. Let's make something different. So I'd be, okay, just give me unlimited money and I'll just make the house. So she'd put in the cheat where you get the gnome.
Rosebud.
You get the infinite money, you build a really awesome house, and she'd be like, okay, and then she'd actually play that game. But she'd come to me to build the houses. It's like Roller Coaster Tycoon. The only thing I ever liked playing on Roller Coaster Tycoon, I didn't even like playing the scenarios, was just the infinite money, build whatever you want to, and keep your attendance up. And that's all I ever did.
The only thing I ever really did on The Sims was pause the game, build walls around people, and watch them shit themselves to death.
Yeah. Dude, I used to fucking get on The Sims when the Living Large expansion would come out. I would figure out that you could get a fucking, like, you could buy hay bales from the sit-on. So you put them all in a room and delete the doors where they can't get out and fill it up with hay bales and get wood firework and put it there. And get the little kid that lights the firework and it fucking catches them all on fire. Kills the shit out of them. The Sims is a great game. PC's got a bunch of good shit.
PC has great games. The only problem is I can't afford to.
Dude, I got a bunch of classic PC games though that like.
As far as affordability goes, these days, PC versus console, you got the larger investment of the upfront PC.
Right.
But the games of Steam, PC blows console out of the water.
Absolutely.
Because you get, console is $60, $80 for a game easy now. And then PC, yeah, you might have to wait a little while, but, come winter, Steam's going to have it on sale for $10.
Speaking of a game we've been playing lately, the PC version of GTA 5 got delayed not too long ago again.
And it pisses me off because I got so many friends that I want to play GTA 5 with me, but they're PC gamers. But that's,
Are they going to cross the servers?
They're supposed to do cross.
They said they would, but I don't think they're going to do it. They're lucky they'll get the game out.
Dude, that I ain't gonna lie. GTA 5 online on Xbox One is full of fucking server issues.
Yeah.
It is not uncommon for you to be in the middle of a match doing something great and you're just like, boom, you get fucking booted off Xbox Live completely.
See, to this day, I still, on occasion, I play All Points Bulletin, which is a game that was heavily based on GTA.
APB, it's still going. It's surprising how it's still going.
Yeah, it's a lot more competitive than what I've seen in GTA 5. As the open world stuff isn't quite so, I don't know, open as GTA 5 is. But like in GTA 5, you can just go kill anybody anywhere, can't you?
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah, in APB, the only way you can kill some person at random is if they've got their notoriety so high that anybody in the world can kill them. But in a mission, though, you can kill whoever.
Right.
Customization in APB looks way better still. That's one thing they went way out of their way when they made the game originally.
On GTA 5, it's gotten a whole lot better. Like there's a lot of customization options.
GTA 4 online is what I want to get into.
Oh, you want to?
You were telling me about the role playing server. So did some. You should check that shit out.
They have
kind of cool
role playing servers on GTA 4 for like online, and it is basically you can sign up to have a job, and you can be you can go and say you want to be a cop. You can pull people over if they run red lights, and it's role playing. So those people will actually stop. They have wrote scripts to get a ticket, and and you have to go to court. You have to pay your ticket. It's insane.
I said they get pulled over and click an extra button to bring up a sub menu where it's like show proof of insurance, show proof of license.
Wow!
And it was funny as they're like, and these players are talking like policemen, dude. They're like, well, it's code so and so. This dude just goes fuck y'all and starts like jumping away, and they shoot him. When you get fucking killed on the server, you don't get your shit back. You start back over at nothing. It's like you fucking died.
Almost a complete permadeath.
Thank you for listening to Good Ole Gamers. We'll be continuing this senseless rambling in next week's episode, Origins Part 2.
Game over, man.